Sometimes it is difficult to say what we need to. Even some simple things can be a threat in our conversation. Imagine you could talk fluently anything to anyone. That's why you are going to see it here. 1. A grammar rule, to know how to say your things. 2. A text, to improve your pronunciation. 3. The meaning of some difficult words, to improve your vocabulary. Do you want to get rid of your English concerns? You've got a good right step. Here you improve your 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking to get a higher score in international tests, to improve your career abilities, and to immigrate to Canada or any other English-speaking country. Pay close attention to this video to find out how. In exchange, you help us by clicking on the bell icon to subscribe, and on the like button, to spread the name of Smart Mind. Now, here we go.
Grammar rule. Grammar vocabulary. This is a short list of grammar terms and definitions. We have a longer list of grammar terms here. Active voice. In the active voice, the subject of the verb does the action, e.g., they killed the president. See also passive voice. Adjective. A word like big, red, easy, French, etc. An adjective describes a noun or pronoun. Adverb. A word like slowly, quietly, well, often, etc. An adverb modifies a verb. Article. The indefinite articles are undefinied. The definite article is the auxiliary verb, a verb that is used with a main verb. Be, do and have are auxiliary verbs. Can, may, must, etc. are modal auxiliary verbs. Clause, a group of words containing a subject and its verb. For example, it was late when he arrived. Conjunction, a word used to connect words, phrases and clauses. For example, and, but, if, infinitive, the basic form of a verb as in to work or work. Interjection, an exclamation inserted into an utterance without grammatical connection. For example, oh, ah, ouch, well. Modal verb, an auxiliary verb like can, may, must, etc. that modifies the main verb and expresses possibility, probability, etc. It is also called modal auxiliary verb. Noun, a word like table, dog, teacher, America, etc. A noun is the name of an object, concept, person or place. A concrete noun is something you can see or touch like a person or car. An abstract noun is something that you cannot see or touch like a decision or happiness. A countable noun is something that you can count, for example, bottle, song, dollar. An uncountable noun is something that you cannot count, for example, water, music, money, object. In the active voice, a noun or its equivalent that receives the action of the verb. In the passive voice, a noun or its equivalent that does the action of the verb. Participle. The ing and ed forms of verbs. The ing form is called the present participle. The ed form is called the past participle. For irregular verbs, this is column 3, part of speech, one of the 8 classes of word in English: noun, verb, adjective, adverb, pronoun, preposition, conjunction and interjection. Passive voice. In the passive voice, the subject receives the action of the verb, e.g., the president was killed. See also active voice. Phrase, a group of words not containing a subject and its verb, e.g. on the table, the girl in a red dress. Predicate, each sentence contains, or implies, 2 parts, a subject and a predicate. The predicate is what is said about the subject. Preposition, a word like at, to, in, over, etc. Prepositions usually come before a noun and give information about things like time, place and direction. Pronoun, a word like I, me, you, he, him, it, etc. A pronoun replaces a noun. Sentence, a group of words that express a thought. A sentence conveys a statement, question, exclamation or command. A sentence contains or implies a subject and a predicate. In simple terms, a sentence must contain a verb and, usually, a subject. A sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. Question mark or exclamation mark subject. Every sentence contains, or implies, 2 parts, a subject and a predicate. The subject is the main noun, or equivalent, in a sentence about which something is said. Tense, the form of a verb that shows us when the action or state happens, past, present or future. Note that the name of a tense is not always a guide to when the action happens. The present continuous tense, for example, can be used to talk about the present or the future. Verb, a word like to, work, to, love, to, begin. A verb describes an action or state. Now, here is the grammar rule that you may find useful to have by the time you will have to use it. Remember, you have to have the grammar rules, the pronunciation, and the vocabulary to sustain your conversation. We want to show these factors to you, and you could have to help us to increase this video influence to keep achieving you always and to reach other people and to help them. This is very key for you in improving your career and increasing your chances to immigrate to Canada. Then click on the bell icon and enroll yourself by clicking to subscribe. 2. Text
now, welcome to Words and Their Stories. On this show, we explore words and expressions in American English. We sometimes explain where they come from. We give examples and notes on usage. Today, we talk about that huge burning star in the sky, the sun. If you spend all day out in the sun without proper protection, you might get sunburned. But other than that, spending time outdoors in the sun can be a wonderful thing. To feel the sun's rays on your face can feel really good, especially for those who have been inside for long periods of time. And that brings us to today's expression, to have your day in the sun. We use it a couple of different ways. When you have your day in the sun, you have achieved the highest possible level of success. You are at your peak. You are having a heyday. You are at your pinnacle or zenith of success. These words are all synonyms. They mean nearly the same. In terms of meaning a period of success, to have a day in the sun can be more specific. It can be a brief period of time when a person becomes very successful or popular, compared to the rest of their otherwise not very successful or popular life. So something new has happened to throw them into the spotlight, or rather, sunlight. Sometimes these periods of time are much shorter than a day. They last for only a moment. So with this expression, you can also say a moment in the sun. For example, recently many people found their moment in the sun by sharing funny videos on YouTube or TikTok. Sometimes when we use this expression, we do not specify the amount of time. We simply say, to have your time in the sun. This usually means the person is young or successful. For example, once a young man was very successful as a music producer. He was so successful that many people became jealous. But he had worked hard for it, and now it was simply his time in the sun. Now, let's hear this expression used in a short conversation.
Hey, did you hear the news? Clara is moving to Chicago. She just accepted a job as vice president for a Fortune 500 company.
Wow, that is big news. Good for her. She has been working hard for years now.
She has. It's time she had her moment in the sun.
I think it's going to be longer than a moment. She has always been very ambitious.
Everyone should have their moment in the sun. American artist Andy Warhol famously said that everyone has 15 minutes of fame. Those 15 minutes would be their moments to shine. They would be their moments in the sun. I hope all of our listeners have their day in the sun. And that's all the time we have for this Words and Their Stories. Until next time, I'm Anna Mateo.
Remember to check the links for Canadian companies searching for employees outside of Canada in the description.
3. Words in this story.
Rate one of the lines of light that you can see coming from an object PAC, the highest level or degree of excellence, quantity, activity, heyday, the time when someone or something is most successful, popular, pinnacle, the best or most important part of something, the point of greatest success or achievement, the strongest or most successful period of Tim spotlight, the area of light created by a spotlightulous, feeling or showing an unhappy or angry desire to have what someone else's conversation, an informal talk involving two people, or a small group of people ambitious, having a desire to be successful, powerful, or famous.
Say to us your questions and pretty soon, you will see what we have to say. Leave your comments about this video, and we will know what you like and what we can do better to help you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.